So, Chad, I'll be honest with you. I knew that you were going to have play to say. So I did not personally write down any particular notes other than Trey'Dez Green is a gigantic human being, and that touchdown should have been a touchdown, in my opinion. You were honestly way nicer about it when we were talking on the phone, so I'm just going to give you the floor.
Yeah, the key takeaway for me is, so LSU wins 17-10 on the road at Fake Death Valley against Clemson, and there's a tiger mascot, and then there's this other thing that I don't know what it is. It looks like a toddler sewed this thing together with like a craft kit. What?
It's from Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, it's a terrible mascot. That's about how they played. The score didn't really give a good indication of how dominant this performance was by LSU. I'll show you some of the stats here as we let's see. I got it.
Please do, sir. Please
Got to switch the mode.
I honestly think I know you're going to get to it, but I think that before Chad says all he has to say, Clemson fans, y'all are going to be okay.
I mean, well, they've got a conference that allows them to be okay.
You don't deserve
What up, Stephen A. Smith?
Okay, because you're getting rolled.
Whoa,
That's what happened.
I don't want this audio on here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I'm sorry. There's audio playing in the background, and I can't make it stop.
You know what, Stephen A.? We will go ahead. We will talk.
Anyway, we are going to go ahead.
All right,
I don't know how to make that stop. Well, anyway, I'll just read you off the stats because I didn't realize it was going to play audio. Thank you very much, ESPN app.
We'll take it from here, Stephen A.
Anyway,
we'll take it from here.
There, I muted it. Okay, now we're good. I can bring it back up. It's live TV, folks. This is what happens. Anyway, so what I wanted to get into is, all right. So the overall total yards, 354 to 261, 246 passing, 230 passing. Yeah, LSU gave up a little bit in the air. Some of that was in that garbage time, like late, where they're kind of doing the bend, don't break, keep them at bay. The time of possession. So LSU turned the ball over twice, 2 fumbles, one in the red zone and one that gave Clemson a field goal early on. 37-10 to 22-50. 15 minutes difference in time of possession. And the other part of it, the part that's probably the biggest in that stat, is Clemson had the ball for 9 minutes in the second half. A 10-3 lead at halftime. They had the ball for 9 minutes in the second half. LSU's actually, the defense is back. We are finally getting to see LSU defense the way that LSU defense is supposed to be played. The nightmare of 2023 and 2024 seems to be over. Perk is back to being Perk.
Mm-hmm.
And LSU really dominated the line of scrimmage. The rushing totals, it was only 110 yards rushing for LSU, but Clemson could not run the ball. 31 total yards rushing. That's sack adjusted, or not sack adjusted. So I think the sacks probably bringing that number. You're probably in the low 50s as a team rushing the ball if you take out the sacks, which I still don't understand why sacks are rushing yards.
Yeah.
In college football still. It's not that way in the NFL. They're counted towards, I think, your team passing total. So anyway, stupid. The back end is secure also, even with A.J. Halsey having to sit out that whole first half. The guys who were there actually held it down until he was available, and then you got to see his impact in the second half. But the pass rush, man, and the other thing is the DBs, the corners, Mansour Delane from Virginia Tech locking down on one side, and then P.J. Woodland, a sophomore, a true sophomore, locking down the other side and holding their own against one of the most talented groups of receivers in college football this year. It's Ohio State, Alabama, and then this Clemson group. And, LSU's somewhere in that top 10 range or something like that. I think there's a lot of people don't know the names yet. It's more of a volume depth of guys than it is necessarily that upper end talent like you have it with Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams and some of those other guys. But yeah, and then the other thing is the biggest question mark, LSU's offensive line against that Clemson defensive front that everybody was talking about. LSU's offensive line actually held up well. No sacks on Nussmeier, or he had the one sack. He had the one sack where he couldn't get away. They left the guy unblocked, but that was it. They gave him time to throw. And the other thing is, Nussmeier did his thing. Like, he actually looks like he's got that. Some of the stuff that he was, the mistakes that he was making, he was trying to do too much. I love the fact, and I know he didn't put up huge numbers, but I'm fine with him I don't want him to have to put up 350, 400 yards. The fact that he could check down and find the little underneath stuff in a game like this, playing in a hostile environment on the road, first game of the season, where you're still kind of trying to feel out if all the stuff that you've been doing against yourself in practice all spring and fall is actually going to translate when you play a team in another colored jersey, right? So seeing him actually like go into there with that composure and just take what was there and not try to do too much was huge. And I don't know, like, was this the most impressive win all weekend? This is the only team that went on the road against another top 10 team and actually beat them in their home building. Everything else was either home teams winning or neutral sites winning against unranked teams or something to that effect. So I don't know. I'm gonna claim it. It's the
you can claim that. I'm not gonna take that away from you. I don't know.
It's funny how they always, like, something like this happens and then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's just discredit Clemson now.
Yeah, I think that Clemson is good. I think they played just fine.
Why are we going to discredit Clemson now? Why don't we discredit Texas?
That's what I don't think that people should do. And I think, like, because Clemson played great. I think Kate Klubnik is also playing fine. I think that, they have a lot of pieces there. They returned a lot. I think that they made you guys work for that win, and you guys won it. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, either way, that would have been won. The team that won earned it, regardless.
Yeah. And I'll say this too. So you notice I haven't brought up any bad calls or anything like that, missed calls, we got screwed or anything like that. Because I was, I had some people over, we were watching the game, and I was even like feeling this way during the game. Like the Bauer Sharp fumble, it was a good call. The pass where we like ripped the ball free and the guy had his knee down first, that was a good call. Like, he was down, so it wasn't a fumble. We don't get the turnover. There's the touchdown in the end zone that wasn't a touchdown. The Bauer Sharp catch on the sideline right by the goal line, his foot never touched the ground in bounds. So, like, all of these calls, it wasn't that we got screwed by bad calls. It was just that, like, these were some little, like, very, very close 50-50 plays that every single one of them went the wrong way for LSU, and then we still won the game. So that's the other part of it, is like, when you look at getting no breaks, there were no like bounces that went LSU's way.
Right.
It was all, Barry Brown hits the pylon, touchdown, boom. But, like, let's be honest, the ball moved a little bit, so it's not a catch. I would have loved for them to have ruled differently, but they did the same thing to Nick Harbor yesterday in the South Carolina game, and it was a good call because the ball was moving. Like, if the rule is you have to have firm control of the ball before you, like, while you're in bounds, he was out of bounds by the time he finally secured the ball. Now, if they want to start trying to redefine, like, if you have control and then you go out of bounds and then somebody hits it while you're still kind of going to the ground and they change that, okay, fine. But, like, the way the rule is, you have to survive the ground. And if you don't survive the ground, it's not a catch. So
I thought his knee hitting the pylon with the ball was good enough, but I guess he still had control. Anyway,
it's that going to the ground nonsense. So at least it's not as bad as Calvin Johnson, 15 years ago, whenever that was. But yeah, so I'm ecstatic. It was a first game of the season. Calvin Johnson, like, caught the ball and put his hands down on the ground with the ball, like, and he got up to celebrate. And when he put his hands down to get up, to prop himself up, the ball came loose and they called it incomplete. Like, bro, he was using the ball to stand up to celebrate. It's clearly a catch. Anyway, bygones. Anyway, it was a great win. Really fun to watch too. And I liked just seeing that. We talked about it before the games, that I felt like all three of the games this weekend, that were those top 10 matchups, I felt like it was more important to the team that won the game than it was to the team that would lose the game.
I agree. You
the
guys
teams
gotta get
that
that
won
monkey off
these
your
games
back.
are all but guaranteed a spot in the playoff. And the teams that lost are not eliminated.
Right.
So it was more of a propulsion game than it was a, if you lose this, you're screwed situation. So,
No doubt.
and they were all good games. Like even the Notre Dame game went down to the wire. So
No doubt.
it was, and yeah, the Texas game, it was 14-0, and then they had to like scramble but they were, bro, they had 4th and goal twice and like failed.
Speaking of the Texas game,